Us tonight from Reynolds Racing Marine down in Harriman. Glenn's one of our primary sponsors. Glenn, glad to have you over here with us.
Glad to be here.
Yes, sir. Good to have you here. Glenn's got some good information on these Mercury engines, the rebates that Mercury's got going on right now, plus he's got some good deals on some good boats, Glenn.
Yes, sir. Mercury has a repower rebate. You get up to $2,200. For instance, I've got a 150 now, 4-stroke for $10,500 with a 5-year gold warranty.
Ooh, goodness gracious.
It's about a $12,000 or $13,000 engine.
Mm-hmm. That sounds like a real good buy. Yeah.
And so come on down. It goes to March, so we need to get plans made. And we got a variety of different Allison Bullet and Express boats that we can put those engines on. And we consider those the best quality in the business.
Mm-hmm. And that was $10,000?
$500, $10,500.
Dadgum, Glenn.
And that's just a nice.
That's
a 154 stroke.
Yeah.
Be good for repairing some 18-foot boats.
Yeah.
Be good pontoon boats. Anything you need a 150 horsepower for. I got 3 of them to sell like that.
Uh-huh. All right, folks, you heard that. There's only 3 of them left, so if you're thinking about repairing or vamping up, that'd be a good one to check on. Glenn, what other deals does Mercury have on these engines right now?
Okay, you can get financing from Mercury.
Uh-huh.
You can either get that free or you can get but the best way to do is take the cash rebate off the top, and that 10.5 is with the rebate off of it.
Uh-huh.
I think that 150's got $1,250 off.
Right.
The 2,200 is a 400, which we don't.
Right.
That 400 is not Apple, anything I've got you.
Uh-huh. I understand that. Yeah, I don't know who'd want that except Mike.
Mike might want a 400.
Yeah, he might want a 400 or 450. Yeah, he keeps talking about it. I don't know what he floated on, but he keeps talking about it. Glenn, what about, is there any other thing with the Mercury revamping that the viewers might want to know as far as, you said it had a 5-year warranty?
Yes,
5-year
warranty. I call that the gold warranty.
Gold warranty.
You can update to the platinum if you'd like.
Yeah. Okay. Man, I tell you what, that's if someone's wanting to come on up there, that's a good deal.
And we do have the new V6 and V8. 175 is a V6. The V8s is 200 through 450. You know. But the most popular engine is the 250 Pro XS.
Uh-huh.
And I have what they call the R engines. R engines, I have got the Sportmaster gear case, and they've got the solid mounts, and those make those in 250 and 300 horsepower.
Mm. Okay. And the R models are in the 250s and the 300.
Yes, and that's made for high-performance Bullet and Allisons.
Right.
Where you're going to run excess of 85 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Which that takes 85 down takes care of almost all the fishing boats. You see.
Yeah. Right. That's Glenn. 85 and 85's moving on. I mean,
it is.
You drove a lot of boats faster than that. I know your racing years, but that's 85's getting on down the water.
We preach safety.
Yeah.
We don't want no one to. We like everybody to wear a life jacket. Had a customer come in that got thrown out here in the last couple of weeks in that cold water. No life jacket, and he had the sense to swim immediately to the bank.
Yeah.
Got out on.
Yes, sir.
Of course, it's hard to get in a boat. I don't care.
Yeah, it is that. I guarantee it. I've fell out a time or two, but it's always been in the summertime.
Summertime's not bad.
Not bad.
Cool you off a little bit, you're happy.
That's right. That's exactly right. But even at that, it's hard to get back in the boat. I'd hate to think what it'd be in that 45-degree water.
You got very few minutes to last.
Yeah, exactly right. Glenn, what about, I know you've got some boats down there. We talked last week about some good pricing on some Allisons and some Bullets. What have we got in store down at the?
Well, we got a couple of 21 10 bullets. They call it RDS, and we got a 21 dual console and a single console. And I've got those on special for $59.9. And that is a cord boat. You would like me to show you what a cord boat is?
Yeah, I know you got something laying over there that you want to show us.
Well, there's several types of construction methods. And of course, the average boat, the most of them are chopper gun decks, and the bottom is just a single layer. And then here I'll show you. This is old, but it's you have one layer, and the new boats are much deeper and thicker than this. This is probably 25, 30 years. Then you have a core.
Yeah.
Then you have another layer. That makes it real hard.
Right.
That's one secret. As far as I know, Allison Bullet's the only one that does that, you see. Now, of course, here is just a piece of sample material.
Yeah.
And you see how thin that is and how stiff it is.
Right.
If you had just that layer, you could probably bend that fiberglass. So it makes the bottom of a boat hard.
Yeah.
It's like dribbling a basketball on hardwood versus dribbling a basketball on carpet. The hardwood will bounce. Well, the hard bottom boats with a core in them, that's the reason they get more performance, you see. That's one of the reason that some of the boats run better than others.
Yeah, I got you. It's strength, and it doesn't have. If you didn't have any support in that thing, the bottom would do.
Well,
this
it does that. You know,
Yeah.
I take a screwdriver with my finger and peck on it, and I can feel it moving.
Yeah.
Now, so this is like a Z and I beam. You know, you're in construction. You know what I beam is? Got I beam here and got it. Okay, you put Z.
Right. It's same. Yeah.
It's like a Z and I beams across there.
Yeah.
See. And that's why, and that makes it very, very strong.
Well, I'm glad you brought that over. That's very interesting on how they do those boats there, and make them stand what they will. You know.
Well, a lot of stress on a boat nowadays.
Yeah.
We've got, of course, the new V8s is 4.6 liter.
Yeah.
40% more torque. Then we got bigger trolling motors.
Yep.
Used to have a 28 pound, and then we had a 41. Now we got 112, and I think they're coming with 130 now that Lowrance and some of them like Ghost and some of the others are coming with, you know.
Right.
So we got bigger trolling motors and bigger torquey motors and more depth finders.
More weight.
More weight.
Yeah.
What's still the same? That transom.
Yep.
So you got to they're having to beef up the transoms. And the Allison has aluminum frame that's actually welded and encapsulated in the back of that boat. We got a 30-year track record of no failures.
Gee. And
they know it's hard to, but in the defense of everybody, we probably double the strength requirements on a transom.
Yeah, I got you. I understand what you're saying. You know, you're pushing more weights. It's got to be stronger.
Got to be stronger, more horsepower, more torque.
You got to be stronger.
And then the tournaments are getting bigger.
Yes, exactly right.
Rougher water.
Rougher water, definitely. Yeah, without a doubt. So everything's got to be stronger to handle the more horsepower and the more weight you carry.
That's true.
There's no doubt about it. So, you know, used to, heck, you go down there with a 19-foot boat, and you had your gasoline was the heaviest thing in there.
That's true.
You tackle, you know I've done it. You have one little old box of tackle there and 3 or 4 reeling rods. You wanted to run, get
you ready
there,
to go, wasn't you?
You was ready to go. But it's not that way anymore. You got all the depth finders and everything in the boat. And nowadays, your trolling motors, you have to have 3 batteries minimum, run a 36 and volt trolling motor. And
well, we're 4 batteries.
4 batteries now, exactly right, for your big engine and the trolling motor.
And Mercury wants you to use those AGMs.
Yeah.
And I think they're about 70-something pound now.
Right.
And also we run into the problem of so much load with all the depth finders and all the aerators and black lights and all the things that pull the, where they run the batteries down, so we're having to go bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah. Speaking of batteries, what about this this new battery you've had
The
for a couple
lithium?
of years? Yeah, the lithium battery.
Does wonders. It's a little bit hard for the average customer to comprehend, I guess is a word. Mm-hmm. I just set up Logan East, which is a high school boy out of Kingston,
Yeah.
a Bullet, and I think so far he does nothing but go fishing. He drives just like you do your car. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He's got AGM on the big V8, but it charges the battery charger goes in and keeps the trolling motor battery charged. Mercury's got another thing called, they got a charging system now. If it senses that your battery's low, it automatically idles it up to
compensate.
Hey,
Son of a gun.
they're getting slick, you know.
Yeah.
But so far, if I understand him right, he's went 8 or 10 times and had done nothing but crank his motor up and go fishing.
Yeah. Well.
And I think that 36-volt battery weighs, it and a charger weighs something like 35 pounds maybe.
Goodness gracious.
Can you imagine that compared
to the 65 to 75 pound battery?
Yeah, three of those.
Yeah.
You know, so anything you can do to reduce weight and have better performance.
Is
You save fuel, you make better fuel mileage.
Yeah.
The boat runs better. When you're going from hole to hole, it comes up quicker.
Oh yeah. There's no lighter is fast.
And I guess you've seen boats take forever to get on plane.
Yes, sir.
Out of the when they say the fish in the hole and they want to move. Mm-hmm. And that's something we do too on some of the boats. We use what we call a floater jack plate. I think I had one in here at one time. That big plate.
Yeah.
And it stops so much that backwash.
Right. It catches that water and kicks the back of the boat up out of the water.
Yes, sir.
Keep it from back washing in. Yeah, that's a well, you know, just like I said, when you throw, even though the transoms have got stronger, the boats have got stronger built, you're still sitting on a 20-inch rated transom. And
That hadn't changed.
It hadn't changed a bit. And then you put all that battery weight and another 7,500 pound motor heavier than what you had.
We got fuel too.
It got fuel.
And then you got live wells.
Live wells, that's exactly right.
And first thing you know, it's
setting down in the water. Exactly right. So propping and lightness, moving things around in the boat, lightening up on your battery sure makes a lot of difference.
But we stock the lead acid,
Right.
and the AGM, and the lithiums, you say.
Right.
We stock three.
Three
The
different
only thing
types of
wrong with the
batteries.
lithiums is the cost, you know.
Yeah.
But it does, every time you go to the river, every time you go fishing, it puts money in your pocket.
Yeah.
Because it takes less fuel to go down.
Don't go down the lake. Well, yeah, it just, you're pushing 300 pounds now, you're pushing 200 or 250 pounds. It's a lot easier to push the 200 than it is the 3.
Yeah,
So you don't drink as much gas. It stands to reason to do that.
We drop about the equivalent of one average guy, I guess, you know.
Yeah. Instead of carrying around that third person.
Yeah, you leave
all
him.
the time,
You
leave him on the boat dock.
on the dry land.
That's exactly right, Glenn. Exactly right. That's a fact. And then you throw your live wells, shucks. You pump them full of water, and you've got almost a fourth man in there, you know. But the lithium batteries and you've told me several times you've moved those, put them up in the front of these people's boats that had trouble getting out of the hole.
Well, the new Allison, for instance, the batteries go in the front.
Go in the front, no kidding. I didn't know that.
It does two things. It shortens the wiring from the battery to the trolling motor, which is more efficient.
Exactly
If you're doing
right.
electrical work, the longer the line,
Yep.
the less it.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's put it halfway, and you're charging back here on the engine halfway to what you used to be right on top, and your trolling motors get the benefit of having that shorter wiring and the weight up in the front of the boat rather than all of it in the back.
Weight up front helps the whole shot.
Yes, sir.
The only thing, some boats, it's real, what I call chopper gun boats, are real heavy up front. Mm-hmm. It really slows them down when you put batteries up there. You know?
Yeah. Well, they got to get the nose up to get a little wind help, you know.
You get the wind on the front.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Dylan, let's see what you got on those pictures that we had over last week. Let Glenn talk about the boats there that he's got. Get him one of them up there. Now that's that Stratus.
That's
Glenn.
Stratus. I couldn't find a scratch on it.
Yeah.
There may be one somewhere, but this guy was so particular with all these boats. And it makes somebody a good starter boat, makes somebody a good high school boat that wanted to go get in. And the boats now, the new ones are run from 60 to 80,000.
Oh yeah.
Some of them 85.
Yeah.
So that would be a good starter boat. And
that's a 19-footer.
18.9, whatever,
18.9,
or whatever
okay.
it is. It's I didn't measure exactly, but it's 18 something, 18.5 or 9 or something. And I think the motor's got so many minutes, less than 100 hours. You know.
No kid.
Yes, sir.
Dadgummit. That's just unheard of, really.
But the boat is super nice.
Super nice, man.
And that's what I got it for, is to
Gee, we had less than 100 hours.
to a customer that don't need a can't swing the big numbers. He can go still go fishing.
Yeah, that's a nice looking rig. I tell you that right now. I mean, it looks new. It's just the back of the engine there and everything. It looks good. And what was the price of that boat?
Asking $15,500.
$15,500. Daggone it. All right, now that's what are we looking at here now? That's
That's still that Stratus.
Stratus. Okay, all right, good deal. Man, that's.
Now this is my yellow 21 RDC they call it, which means it's a raised deck. Has the room more in the console, and it has a dual console with 2 windshields.
Yeah. Okay.
Some anglers don't like a dual console.
Right.
Most of them don't like it unless till they get over on that pasture side. And they got a tournament here coming up. They start probably next month, something like that.
Yeah, yeah, they'll start next month, Glenn.
And it's 30 degrees or.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And that console is worth a lot.
I hear you. There it is with one of the 300.
That's a 300 on it. We would sell it like that, but normally everybody goes 250s.
Yeah.
That's a lot of regulations in
a lot of regulations in tournaments anymore. A lot of them won't let you fish with anything over a 250. So you get the best 250 you can get, which would be the Pro XS or the R 250, the racing motor. But they do have limit restrictions, engine restrictions on a lot of these tournaments anymore because of the liability and everything. But that's a good looking rig. There's an inside view of both consoles and all that good stuff.
I was down at the tournament that the high school had. I guess you was there last fall?
Yeah, yeah.
I was amazed at the different watercraft that was there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, some of them had, I seen them one with a 115, the old Johnson B4s.
Yes, sir.
And they had that from the new late model stuff. One even had a 300. They have a speed limit, don't they? That you can't run but 60 or something like that.
I've not heard anybody say that, but I did hear it rumored. But none of the officials.
It's not in writing yet, huh?
Not in writing yet. That's.
But still, we need to be safe, especially with those kids.
Agreed. Yeah, you've got, with this junior league, you're talking about 6th and 7th graders. They let the 8th graders fish in what they call the senior league, which is 8th grade, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior in high school. But you take those kids out there in that junior league, heck, they're 9, 10, 11 years old, you know. So yeah, you want to be safe.
You gotta be safe.
Got to be safe, and you'd hate for something to happen to one of them, you know, in the boat with you and that kind of thing. So you got to think about safety, and with those youngsters in the boat with you, and hope it carries on through them, you know, of being safe all through life. Exactly right. I was telling the guy at work, our Glenn, this week, we were talking about it, and he said, was asking me if I was going fishing, And I said, yeah, I'm planning on going. And Mike and I went up to North. We got up there about 11:30 Monday, and shucks, the wind was blowing, and ice in your lines and everything. The water temperature was 49 degrees, but the air temperature was in the upper 20s. You know, like I said, it was probably hovering right around 30 degrees, and that wind, a little bit of wind, kept them guides froze up on your rod. But if you got in the water, it would be hard to get back in the boat, like you said. It really would. And then there's so many things that can happen to you in just a few minutes. And when you get into that shock factor, you know, hypothermia sets in, and you know, it's just so many things can happen to you.
I very seldom anymore like to test a boat without a pickup boat there.
Yeah, that's good.
You follow me?
Yes, sir.
Don't like to be out there anymore without somebody there that at least they could drag you to shore or drag you somewhere, you know.
You're running right on the edge of something going wrong.
I know.
You know, that's what you've done it for years. Racing, you know, you're right on that verge of where the least little thing could cause that thing to go over backwards or do a 360. I mean, you know, so yeah, when you're doing that and you want to protect yourself. But anyway, I told that guy at work, I said, well, one of the things that I got from Glenn, I was telling him about you, I said, was wearing those leg straps. It keeps that life jacket from coming up in your face.
Yes, Dave, over here at Fort Loudon Dam below there, you know, those boys.
Yeah.
They got in those
In
balls.
the turbulence out there.
And the guy, he come up, but his life jacket was gone.
Yeah. Took it off of him.
You see it now. It's hard to find a life jacket, a life jacket with leg straps on it.
Yeah, and it makes a world of difference. I'm telling you. And another thing, in cold weather conditions, they hold the warmth in. You know, you're wearing
You're
it.
Talking about a jacket?
Yeah,
yes,
like
they do.
this,
Oh, yeah,
they make it a lot warmer on you. Really do, and keeps that wind knocked off your chest and this, that, and the other. But so yeah, it's a good safety factor, and we just kind of crept around up there Monday because it was so dang cold.
Did you catch any fish?
Yes, we sure did. I think we got 8 in the boat and had a couple more on that we missed, but now it was a miserable day to get them, you know. Get rid of that. That says potential spam there. We don't need none of that. That's for sure.
They aggravate. See, I have a problem when a guy calls. I never know where it's an insurance salesman out of Colorado or is it a customer to buy boats. You see. So I just answer them all.
Yeah.
And it takes me about probably 3 seconds to find if it is. I don't say nothing to him. I just end it right then.
Yeah, I hear you. There's so many scammers out there anymore. It's a bad situation. I'm like you.
I'll tell you a quick story. I was over at the boat show there a few years ago, and the guy, he said, "You got life jacket leg straps?" I said, "Yeah." I said, He said, "You got an extra double X?" I said, "Yeah." He had been, I believe, in Alaska, and got thrown out with a life jacket on. You follow me? Mm-hmm. That thing, and he nobody around, and he said he treaded water. I mean, he said he couldn't. All he had to fight all the time to keep that jacket
off his face. Yeah.
Off his face.
Yeah.
And he said it would, and he said, "I want one of them," and he had me bring him one. He said, "I thought I was going to drown with a life jacket."
Well, that's what I'm talking about. I forgot who that was that's telling me, they done this test with the old Yalla-looking life jackets, what we all grew up with years ago.
Go around your neck.
Go around your neck, and then they had another old type jacket, and this, that, and the other, and then it got up to it came down to where these self-inflatables got the highest grade of being.
It's fisherman friendly. You see,
yeah,
move around.
Exactly right. It doesn't.
I still like the old style.
Zip up.
With a foam. You said something a while ago. If you get thrown out of a boat, and you hit the side or something, or you,
Yeah.
the more protection you got around your ribs and all, and heart, the better you are.
Exactly right. Yeah. And well, that's one thing with the inflatables, the self-inflatables.
You don't have.
You don't have.
No.
It just hangs right here in front
Yeah.
and around your neck back here, and you know, you don't have any protection till it goes off, but it ain't gonna go off in the boat, you know, until you get in the water and melt the little tab there that it sets it off. It's not gonna inflate, which you don't have any protection. You know?
Yeah, I wear a helmet. I wear a life jacket with leg straps.
Yeah.
And a kill switch.
Yes, sir.
Now, you could still get hurt.
Agreed.
But that's very, very few people ever get drowned or hurt too bad in a boat if they got those three things on.
Yeah. That's a fact, and it pays us to be safe. And we was talking about with these kids anymore with this fishing, high school fishing. Yeah, you got to be safe with them and teach them the right way, the things to do. And it's even just like teaching them about fishing. You want to teach them the right way and be safe at doing it so that they can enjoy the rest of their life out there fishing. So, Glenn, what about, let's see, Dylan, did you have the picture of that single console bullet that we had last week? I know there's several pictures.
It's gold, and I mean, it's orange and white and black bottom.
Yeah, orange and white and the black bottom. Did we have that picture? I know you're looking through your database there to see if you've got it. Okay, all right. I was thinking it was on this last week that we didn't get it. But anyway, Glenn, what about, I know you got the 3 brands of engines down there right now.
Got Honda. I've got some Hondas for small boats. We start with a 2 horsepower, 2.3 in that range. For like small canoes or.
Right.
And so we got from 2 horsepower to 450 horsepower. Isn't that a variation?
That's a variation. Exactly right. I don't know. You know, you could put on a pretty good sized boat with that 450 horsepower.
Well, it's made really for. I working with a guy with a 25-foot Liberator pleasure tunnel.
Right. Yeah.
Basscat, I believe, has got one on it, but we're not going to push that. That's not our agenda.
Yeah.
You know, that's
you'd be like to sell a bunch more of them 2 horsepowers for the skidoos and canoes. Okay.
And then
what you can got a motor place on the back that you can put your small engine. Yeah. And some of these inflatable boats has got a backing plate that you can add a little gas engine on.
And sometimes we troll. They troll.
They troll with those. They put these crappie fishermen will mount it over to the side.
Pedal along.
Troll with it, and this kind of stuff. That's exactly right. They do a lot of that.
We package with a Yamaha on our express boats.
Okay.
And of course, we got Honda, Yamaha, and Mercury.
Honda, Yamaha, and Mercury.
Yes, so
that's
we got
it.
3 brands. Mercury's our main cheese. That's our main deal. And so we got a lot of high quality product in there.
Yeah, good. That's wonderful. You know, heck, all 3 of them are great engines. Just depends on what you want, whichever one you want. What about, Glenn, maintenance in their boats and keeping things like it should be as far as water pumps and that kind of thing?
Very important. Water pumps is, now we've got the fuel injection. We have these what are called tracker valves. I think you may have had one go bad.
Yep.
And they're made out of rubber and vinyl and neoprene and all that. But we call that soft goods.
Yes, sir.
And after a 3 or 4 year period, they deteriorate. So we got lower unit seals.
Right.
We just had a guy lose his lower unit November the 15th or 13th, I believe, when it got down to.
It got cold, yeah.
One night or 2 days.
Yeah.
And he had water. He got fishing line around his
prop shaft.
and it sucked the water out of it. I mean the oil out of it and full of water. And so he didn't have a lower unit in his motor. He'd run over a log and messed his midsection, so he had to buy a new engine. You see, he didn't have nothing left, you know. So we got some good used engines right now.
Have you?
175, we got a 225, and the boys are putting a 250 together, a 2013 model.
Well.
So we have, a lot of people can't swing the $18,000 new motors,
Yeah.
but they can get a $5,000 to $9,000 to $10,000 used one, you see.
Yeah. It's still got some good life in it.
Got a lot of good life in it, and it's like a used car, you know, everybody don't buy a new car, you know.
Right. Exactly right. What about, you still got a few pontoons?
I got a couple there I need to sell.
Yeah.
They're all aluminum, everybody else is plywood. And, but see, when a customer buys a new pontoon, that what's underneath of it, he don't.
You know, yeah, I got you. When's a good time to get your boat? I know, you know, if right now, if you don't have it winterized, you've just about waited too late.
Yes, outboard is is sort of forgiving. Inboard, you're done.
Yeah, frozen bust.
And we have a lot of those every year. Inboard market is sort of declining, I guess is a word. There less and less inboards being sold because outboards got so big now. You follow me?
Yeah, got the horsepower to make up for the weight and everything.
So we got 250, 300 horsepower, weighs approximately 510 pounds. And big inboards now, if you get 250, 300 horsepower, they're over 1,000 pound time you get to outdrive, and then you got the engine up in the boat. So overall, over the whole country right now, if you look at the numbers, the inboard business is declining, and the outboard business is increasing.
Yeah.
Because that suits me. You follow me?
Right, I understand. I got you. Yeah, it does me too. Just because of the weight that these heavier boats pull, you know, that's a big thing with us. You know, you meet a boat and you think, oh, okay. Next thing you know, man, you're just up, you know. So yeah, it's when we're running, you know, we're up on top of the water and we're not creating that big deep whale, you know.
Weight,
because of the weight.
Well, yeah, there's a boat. Our express boats are big, and they got a pad. They ride good, and probably the most unsung boat we've got. We think we got the best with Allison, Bullet, and Express.
The best three.
Yes, and
I agree.
Performance and quality of how they're made with the coring.
Yep. I won't argue that. You've got three dandies there.
Did you know that Allison Bullet is the only one that still builds a hand-laid boat?
Yeah.
With head deck and all.
Yeah.
All hand built. Yeah. Everybody else is chopper gun at the base of the decks. And so we think we got some good product. Just need to.
Right.
Springs are coming, so we need to get them all lined up and ready to go. You know?
Folks, if you've got anything you'd like to ask Mr. Glenn, give us a call here, and we're going to turn him loose here in a few minutes, but he'd be more than glad to answer your questions. If you have anything you want to ask him, and go down, you know, he'd be glad for you to come down and visit.
Come anytime.
Come anytime, look things over. They've got the satellite store over there on Ray Street there, and get inside out of the bad weather.
Well, I keep my high dollar boats in there.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just a remote showroom, I guess. But we meet a lot of people over there after hours.
Yeah, and you know, working man, he's you know, he's usually 5 o'clock before he gets off work, and hey, I'd like to go look, then you'd be more than glad to give you a call, and be more than glad to meet him over there, and that kind of thing. Let's see, you had some side-by-sides, some pontoon boats, Allison, some Bullets in there the last time I was down there. So
race boat or two?
A race boat, yeah, sure did.
We have a boat I call it a sandbar boat. And that's where a guy wants a performance boat. He can go run down 30, 40 miles down the river or something like that.
Right.
Hang out at sandbar, you know, drink a few cold ones. and that's a market, you see.
Yeah, that's
Don't
right.
interest a bass fisherman, but
Well, you know, everybody's not a fisherman. That's a
And-
fact, but they still have to have a boat and a motor to
Yes.
get around. So that's what we like, being able to get, you know, for you to stay in business and provide the boat and motors for us fishermen and the pleasure rider. And one of those Allisons it was a kind of combination boat, isn't that right?
Yes, we make a 2+2.
Yeah, that's what you called it.
Got dual consoles, and then we're also gonna make a Pro Sport. It's hold up to 5 people, you see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's very, we sell a few along.
Yeah.
It's, you can imagine what it costs to build, that with all the seats and all.
Yeah.
It costs more than the,
Than the regular fishing model, as per se, I'm sure, because it has got so
Oh,
much.
there
Yeah,
you
there
see.
it is. There's the seating.
you can, and it's even got a porta potty in the middle.
Yeah, Dylan, zoom in on that picture right there, will you? That's the layout in that sport boat. Let's see, Glenn's got his hand.
It's sort of
on
a fishing, and it,
yeah,
and it has,
ride 5 people.
and it has a lot of features.
Yeah,
Of course, they build race boats and they build, but we sell a few of those. They call them a 2+2.
2. Yeah, I see
2
that.
here and 2 here. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we put a bench seat back here.
Back here, right?
That makes it a 5.
People, yeah.
And they use them to fish. And then come Sunday afternoon, the family wants to go.
Take it for a ride.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And I sell about 2 a year, I guess,
Yes,
something like that. Not
Yeah,
very.
I knew you had one down there. It looked awful like it.
And-
So,
and,
but anyway, that's wonderful.
Have headlights.
That have the headlights under the front, yeah,
And,
and that's a good feature. I mean, if you're out there and it gets, you know, and most of the time you stay to the last minute, and you got to get back to the trailer somewhere. And let me tell you, them buoys down there don't give too much.
No, and that's one thing I sort of have to beat myself. Be sure you watch those buoys. You get that old buoy is faded.
Yeah.
That water gets green sometime. You've seen it, right?
Yes, sir.
And that buoy just blends right
Blends
in.
in. Oh, yeah.
Sometimes that river's a little bit green.
Yeah, buddy.
And that old faded buoy, and they run across one every once in a while.
Yes, sir. Sure do. I done one myself years back.
Hit a buoy.
Yes, sir. Right there in front of your house.
Yeah, that old green one.
You know, this was the daggum red one right before you
was it?
got to it. Yeah, yeah. I was in a tournament and looking off over there where I wanted to go next, and that boy with me hollered, "Look out!" And I hit that thing, and bam! It knocked the rod locker lid up and tore the thing up. Anyway, when I took it up to Max and let him look at it, and he's man, you know, so wound up, had to get a new hull. Yeah, but yeah, it slipped up on me. It really did. I told that guy with me, I said, man, I'd have come closer hitting the rock in my yard than I would with these buoys down here, because I've been on it all my life, you know. But that just goes to show you, when you think you won't, you will. But that was.
But that's not the first guy to hit a buoy.
No. Unfortunately, I'm not. That's the only one I've ever hit. But there's been a lot of them hit them. And
But
them
they don't
headlights-
give either, do they?
No, sir. No, they don't give any. And that headlight business is like I said, you're out there fishing or having a good time, and it's getting dusk, and you start back down the lake or up the lake to load your boat up. You flip them lights on, and that reflective tape off of those buoys shows up really well.
It has a rheostat in there that you can dim.
Then
You can raise them up and down.
Yeah.
Where you want them down on the water.
Angle, yeah.
But depending on the angle of your boat, whether you're running slow, whether you can push it down the water.
Yes, sir. That's a real good feature, those lights are. You know, nowadays, everybody wants to drive with their GPS. Well, that's fine, and it'll show you where those buoys are supposed to be.
But if it washed out a little
But
bit.
if they've washed out a little bit or got drugged down the lake a little bit, they're not exactly right where they're showing them at. So, you know, you could that, you know, and that's another thing. And in the dark, fog conditions and stuff like that, that GPS is really nice.
It's another tool.
It's another tool to use to keep you out of trouble. Sure is, Glenn. Anything else, Mr. Glenn, you want to bring up? Props, anything you got?
Well, we got a variety of props.
Got a bunch of
all
props.
Kinds. Probably got the biggest selection of props of anybody around, including the prop shops.
Yep, there's quite a few of them. I know that.
And but it takes a lot of different engines.
Well, it does. It really does. You know, when you're wanting your boat to perform in the correct way, you've got to get the prop that does the best prop.
There's only one boat, one prop suited for your boat, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly right. Sure
We like hole shot props. We like two things. We like one that hole shot's good because the fisherman, he stops and starts a lot.
Yep.
It's got the hole shot good.
Yes, sir.
And then, of course, he wants decent performance.
Yep.
You know? So it's hard to get, we have the Bravo XS is, I guess, one of their favorite ones. It's a 15 diameter 4-blade.
Mm-hmm.
And we have the Pro Max. It's a 14.5 diameter.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's 1 mile an hour, maybe 1.5 over but it slips more at the bottom end. Usually.
Yeah. It's hard to find a prop that
does it all.
Does it all? You know, like you said, you got a good hole shot, and maybe be a little not as fast as this one over here, but then he's got to get up and get you're just a little bit ahead of him before he gets on top of the water, so it kind of all works its way out. You know, pretty. Fury prop's a good prop, sure is, and
yes,
but yeah, it's a whole lot of things.
What we're running into now is a lot of these boats, you know, some of the bigger, heavier 21-foot nitros and some of the Stratuses and all the stuff they put in the front of them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sometimes a Fury does not lift that boat good. We're having to go to a big old 4-blade Rev 4, they call it.
Yeah.
And I picked a guy up on he come in there, I picked him up 5 miles an hour by slinging bolting the prop on it.
Mm-hmm.
I went out running with his prop, bolted my prop on there.
Yeah.
And it was 5 mile an hour on the GPS. And he just couldn't believe it, you see.
Yeah, right.
So but on the other hand, the prop he took off might be better on another boat, you see.
Agreed, yeah.
The Fury is pretty hard to beat on most boats, you see.
Yeah, it's just a good standard a starter prop, and if you want to fine tune it, well, you can get it on something
And
else.
they make a 4-blade now, Fury 4.
Is that right?
Yes,
Okay, that's good. Mine's a 3-blade.
Yeah.
Might need to check that out. But you know, I'm really happy with the way my prop does. It gets me out of the hole good. You throw 3 people in the boat and you know, all your batteries and stuff and your gasoline and everything in the back, and you know, it still just gets up and goes on.
The technology of that Fury is modern technology, and it's got some good stuff on it.
Yeah, it does well. From what I like it, they ain't pretty good, and that kind of thing. Is that the fire truck?
I don't think anybody can beat a Mercury prop. I don't care who you are.
It's hard to beat a Mercury. Mercury makes a product called X7 alloy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a little bit, it's a better product. All props will crack sooner or later if you beat them enough.
Oh yeah.
But that X7 alloy is so far it's superior to anything we've got out there. Any brand, any brand, you say.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's I've heard a lot of people throwing blades off. Never had that to happen to me, and I guess it's because of the metal that the prop's made out of. You know.
Well, let's look at this. We talked earlier in the show about having more depth finders and bigger trolling motors and more of this, and all that stress is still on that one little blade. You ever think about that?
Well, that's true. If you're going to carry more weight and have more horsepower, you got to have a stronger prop than what you did have 20 years ago.
So almost all props, sooner or later, will sling a blade. I don't know how long it'll be. And I guess one cause, if you ever see a guy going down the lake, you've seen him, and he's throwing a big rooster tail, right?
Yeah.
What's that tell you? That means that prop is slapping that water.
Yeah.
it'd be like taking a paddle and just beating the heck out of it, you say. Mm-hmm. So a prop throwing, doing what, that's reference from anything. If it's hooked up, screwing through the water, it's not as much strain on it, you see.
Yeah.
But if it's a smacking that water,
As it comes around, it's
smacking that water, and throwing it up in the air.
Yeah,
That's rougher on her than a one that's hooked up. You see.
Yeah, okay.
So like you take off here, your car is taking off here and spinning the asphalt out here. Mm-hmm. That tar won't last long. With a prop, it do the same thing, you see.
Right. Well, let's knock on wood. I hope I don't never throw one off. I'll just tell you. Yeah, I want to take care of mine. I don't want to do that for sure. That's a dangerous thing. But I've heard a lot of props, a lot of boys throwing blades off, you know, and that kind of thing. And I just hope I don't have that
They
situation.
called me and said, will your props throw a blade? I said, well, you're sure they will.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like a tire will eventually blow out.
Yeah, right.
That prop will eventually, if you run it hard enough and long enough. But they're pretty tough. That, like I said, that X7 alloy that Mercury's got is tough. That's tough stuff.
Yeah. Well, that, you know, metal's like, if you flex it enough, it'll get weak.
I call it the coat hanger effect. If you take a coat hanger and you sit here and do it, it don't take long like that for it to break.
Break too. That's right. Exactly right. All right, Mr. Glenn, anything else you want to enlighten us on?
No, I don't know. Just springs are coming here around the corner. Like I say, we're just trying to keep everybody fixed up and keep all the boats running, and we work on a variety of products. You know, we've got a 17-foot aluminum boat of some kind. A guy put a hydraulic jack plate. He wants to fish a Pigeon River up there.
Yeah.
And he wants to raise that motor up and tilt it up and paddle wheel through the shallots, you see.
Right. Yeah, oh, yes.
We about got out of the jet boat business. Jet boats works good out in like Missouri River, where it's sandy, gravelly type terrain with a little bit of water. We can go fast. Now up here, if you start doing that, and there's a big boulder lurking on it, and you hit that, and you killed them boys up there here 2 or 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we're going to what we call a paddle wheel type deal. That we raise the motor up, move it back some, where the water will climb up and go slow, and then sort of tilt the motor up and get it above the bottom and sort of paddle wheel through the boat.
Yeah, instead of trying to run.
Trying to run a jet boat, the only way they work good is when they're really wide open, you see.
Yeah.
But that don't hardly work in East Tennessee.
No, there's a lot of things out there in that shallow water that you, I've you know, been there. These guys, they jump logs.
Get back in a hole somewhere?
To get back in a hole, it's a different breed, and it's I don't know.
We're going to what they call a prop tunnel now.
Yeah.
The jet tunnel is about 2 inches deep. Mm-hmm. And you put the jet on top of it.
Right.
The prop tunnel is approximately 5 inches deep. And we put that prop up in that as high as we can get it.
In that pocket, so you can keep on
easing along, and you don't tear your lower unit of your prop up, but you can still get in the.
Get in and out there. Yeah. Well, you know, if you take 5 inches of water, you know, you've got to get over up above that. That's the shoals, be 5 inches, and you're going in here and you'll hit a deep pocket, and that's kind of what you're after right there. You know, like I said, I've seen these guys do it. We were down fishing in Alabama there one time, and next to Birmingham there, was in the back of this little creek, and I'd done went as far as I could go. And Jason Nichols, he come idling up behind me there. He said, "Are you going on up?" I said, "Well, heck no." I said, "I can't jump that log." I said, "No." I said, "You just let me throw the motor back out of here behind you, and you go on." And he had a jet boat and was in the jet boat, and they went right up there and bumped up on that log and
took on off.
Yeah, and took off. You know, I said, you know, but that's the deal of it. And but yeah, the prompts, the depth finders, electronics, all that kind of stuff. How many trolling motor manufacturers are coming out with all this GPS now?
Almost all of them got it in, and it's going so fast I can't keep up with it.
Same here. You get one today and it's already outdated by the time you get it on your boat.
They got a thing called CMAP.
CMAP, okay.
And that's a good deal. Our boys come up I know in Alabama, and they worked. And they said they checked every foot of that bottom of that river, and they plotted that with a GPS. So, really, a good GPS with that CMAP in it is about as good as a depth finder. Because if you're going down the river fast with it, it's hard to get a depth finder to read.
Yeah. And when you do change, say you're running in 20 foot of water, and then you drop into 90 foot of water or 60 foot of water here in the channel, sometimes it takes that thing a few minutes to pick back up.
It does.
And then next thing you know, when it does pick back up, you're over here in 5 foot of water.
So that map on that depth finder that CMAP in it it's another tool to work with.
Yeah, exactly right. We got plenty of them anymore. That's a fact, for sure. Anyway, folks, we're running out of time. How much time we got, Dylan? About 8 minutes. Listen, we're going to sign off. Dylan's going to finish the show up with a commercial or two, show you some of Mr. Glenn's boats that we've got there and things we've showed him, but have shot some film with. But do visit down at Reynolds Racing and Marine. Give Mr. Glenn a chance to earn your business, and check some of these boats out that we've talked about here tonight. The Allison,
and the
Bullets,
engine
sale,
got the engine sale
all that stuff, and that runs out when? 1st of March?
I believe it's March the 31st.
March the 31st, so the end of March. If you're thinking about upgrading or whatever, and then remember all the good used engines he's got down there. So the rebates on the newer engines, 5 years worth of warranty. Man, I tell you what, that's a extremely good deal. There ain't no two ways about it. So do get down and visit. That's Reynolds Racing Marine there in Harriman. So right across from the Subaru dealership, and check out what he's got to offer right there. Glenn, it's been good to have you, brother.
Thank you so much.
All right. Folks, we'll sign off. God bless you all. We'll see you next week, and hopefully Mike will have some fish to show you. All right, Dylan, take us to break. Okay, folks, welcome to Edgemore Outdoors. I'm over here with Vance and Jim today. They've had several customers in. Just give you a little idea of the whole shop. You guys have seen it. You know what's in here. I mean, it's, everything that you're looking for. And then let's keep getting all the new stuff in. So we're going to get over here to the counter and visit with Vance. He's been making a list, and we got a bunch of reels up on the cabinet, and we're going to take a look at that. Everything in the world in here, fishing lures, lines, plastics, sunglasses, all kinds of baits, swim baits, jigs, spinner baits, plugs, rods, reels, boat saver. I mean, it's all here. So, counter, Vance, what you got laid up here for us, bud?
What we got here is some newer Daiwa spinning reels and a Daiwa Tatula CT bait caster. And then we also got a newer Lew's bait caster here. It's a Tournament Pro.
That's a plus. Now, what about these two reels right here,
We
Lance?
got a Daiwa Revros here. That's $49.99. And a Daiwa Exceller here, $79.99.
Well, I tell you what, they sure feel smooth to me.
They're light. They're smooth. It's a real good quality reel for the money there.
Okay.
We also got Mega Bass. Got all that in here.
Got some Mega Bass
Got
and
Mega Bass. Yep. We got some new braid, different kinds of braid that is fluorescent.
yeah.
Glows under high vis.
Okay.
Got the Tokyo rigs. Got new VMC Nico shroom weights.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, folks, get by here, see Edgemore Outdoors. Jim or Vance will be here. Got live bait, night crawlers. I mean, you know, hey, if we don't have it here, you don't need it. So get by here and visit with Edgemore Outdoors.
Okay.
Hey, folks, I'm here at Reynolds Racing and Marine, 620 Ray Street here in Kingston. Got Mr. Glenn Reynolds here with us. Glenn, tell us about this beautiful Bullet boat sitting here.
Okay, this is the latest deal. It's called SST. It's 21 foot long. Has a lot of key features inside. It's got three coolers, so you keep your beverages
Right.
plenty cool. Got a little wider front end up front. And it's got the recessed foot pedal for the new Spotlight trolling motors that I'm going to try to sell Steve one.
Yes, sir.
And it's a pretty silver and red.
Boy, it's beautiful. It really
Got
is.
the new 250R.
250R on that thing, folks. Man, this thing looks
So
sharp.
that's just one boat. Of course, we got it in the background here.
Yeah.
We've got several side by sides.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And then
Oh, there's the big 5-seater. That's a 5-seater. Man, dadgone it,
we've
Glenn.
got a lot of side by sides.
Yes, sir.
And then we've got, of course, this is
Allison?
Allison color a Pro Series.
Yeah.
It's called a Pro Elite.
Pro Elite. Okay.
And it's got, I guess here is some of the, you can get this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man. Got a TV screen in the front, Glenn.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
it raises it up, it's called an E-pad.
Right.
And Allison has a patent on this, I think. And you can raise it up where you can, if you're a tall guy, you can still see
it. Yeah. Yeah.
That's sort of unique. And then, of course, we've got the Allisons and the Bullets on this side.
Right. Oh, man. Hey, folks, here at Tim's Tires, there's the times that they're open. The day, you know, that's 5 days a week. They're open from 8 to 12:30 on Saturdays. All right, folks, we're inside here in the warehouse. Just wanted to give you a quick look at all the tires and stuff they got. And here we are. There's some four-wheeler tires, lawnmower tires, just a mixture of about any kind of tire you want. So keep that in mind. Then here we get into the light truck, automobiles, that kind of thing. So just walk through here and give you a quick look at what they've got in stock here. I mean, you know, it's it's just, I don't know, man. They must be a couple of thousand tires in here.
Country Fresh Foods. You may not know the name, but you definitely know the taste. Our homemade fudge is shipped all over the country. Its quality is unmatched, and it's made right here in Oliver Springs. But you don't have to travel all over to enjoy it. You can get it right here at our retail store, Pamela Ann's Fudge, Candy, and Gifts. The highest quality fudge in a countless variety of flavors. And we also carry a variety of candy and unique gifts for you to enjoy. Come enjoy the taste you have loved for years at Pamela Ann's Fudge, Candy, and Gifts in Oliver Springs, a division of Country Fresh Foods.
Let's go fishing. You know it's really great. Let's go fishing. In the rivers and on the lakes. Let's go fishing. It's easy when you try. Floating on the water with good old Steve in mind. Floating on the water.